Well, now that we've covered falling in love, that's the fun part, right? Finding that romance, the one you want to be with forever. But then how do couples rescue that relationship when their love and their passion and their romance, and when they just become unhappy and they start to fall out of love? Well, we have someone here today who can help you rescue that relationship. Here with her tips, we have the author of the Return to Love Playbook, Dr. Deb Castaldo, also known as Dr. Deb.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is a sad transition. We were just happy in love in our last segment.
But it's common
reality.
and normal.
Yeah.
That's the normal progression, unfortunately.
Yeah. How are divorce rates right now? Is
Not
it about
good.
the same?
It's
Really?
about the same for about a half century, 50 to 60%, 40 to 60. Also, high rates of sexless marriages, which account for about a third of all divorces, about 200,000. And it's estimated about 70% of couples report that they're unhappy in their relationship.
70%.
70%. So it's an epidemic, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So that's why I do what I do.
Yes, you have counseled so many couples.
Oh my
You have
goodness.
advice from what you have seen.
Yes.
Is that why people ultimately call it quits, is intimacy or being unhappy in their relationship?
I think that's one of the reasons. Some common ones: conflict, poor communication, no togetherness. They feel like the spark has totally gone, and they're not putting any effort in at all. And it doesn't stay alive if you're not putting the effort in. It has to be a commitment to do love. Love is a verb.
Yeah. Is it possible to stay in that state of initial happiness and falling in love, like the giddiness stage?
Well, the crazy part, no, actually, because the brain chemicals are so high in that stage that you actually cannot sustain that at all. But you can be in love, not just the falling in love craziness part, but be in love, stay in love, keep it vibrant, keep it growing. In that way, yes, you can stay in love and loving for the long term.
Okay, how do we do it? What needs to be first and foremost?
Well, first and foremost, there's 4 areas that I like couples to pay attention to, which is keeping their sparkle going, the good stuff, the fun, the togetherness, the friendship, resetting their, what I call the gold standards, and then also paying attention to their intimacy, their affection, their sexuality, and breaking old patterns that they may have grown up with in their family. So those are the basic things. Then we can get to the romance tips that they need too.
Oh, so those aren't even the romance.
Those aren't the romance tips.
What are the gold standards, by the way? Is that a...
really respect, good communication, admiration, appreciation, how you communicate to one another, the gold standards of how do you treat each other every day.
Okay. Then, so that doesn't, the intimacy is not the romance?
Yes, but those are like
different.
Basic. That's the foundations of a healthy relationship. You want me to run down the romance?
Yeah, do the
tips?
romance for us too.
Okay. So first of all, you have to work on your friendship, your fun, and your togetherness. Because if you haven't had intimacy in a long time, you can't just jump back in. You have to start warming up the embers. Then what I like to say is there's a couple of easy ways to start warming up again. One is to start dancing with each other. And you don't even have to go out of the house. You can do that in your kitchen. Get a playlist going. Then the next one is no more pecks and shuffling by each other in the hallway. 6-second kisses and 20-second hugs.
I've been hearing about this.
Yes, this is actually based on research because that amount of time releases what we call the cuddle hormones.
Oxytocin?
Oxytocin,
There you go.
serotonin, and endorphins. And that's really important to keep the connection going, the connection of security, emotional bonding. Then the next thing I love to have couples do is skin to skin, holding each other twice a week, no expectations. So it doesn't have to lead to anything, but again, that really leads to security, emotional bonding, validation, feeling loved, feeling valued, and that's what I call like the sparkle and the glitter.
Okay, you have so many stories. This is just the beginning. How much more can I hear from you? I know you have your new book out, so you can now get the Return to Love Playbook, learn so much more. It is available at thedrdeb.com, Dr. Deb's website, and also everywhere that books are sold. Thank you for your advice today.
Thank you for having
I'm going to
me.
tell my husband, I've seen the 6-second kiss, and he thinks I'm crazy.
It's real.
proven. It's scientific.
Yeah.